Have you ever stopped to think about how artificial intelligence is quietly changing the world you live in? Look at your phone, your games, even the way you get help with homework. It's everywhere. Now, think specifically about school and learning. How is this powerful technology changing the classroom? Could it be a helpful tutor that makes studying easier, or might it sometimes create new problems we have to solve? Today, let's take a closer look at AI's impact on education. We'll explore both the exciting possibilities and the real concerns, because like most powerful tools, it comes with two sides. First, let's imagine the good side, the potential benefits that feel almost like science fiction. Picture yourself stuck on a tricky math problem or a confusing science concept. Instead of feeling lost, you could have a virtual AI tutor. This isn't just a pre-recorded video. It's a smart system that gives you step-by-step explanations just for you, offers personalized feedback on your mistakes, and creates extra practice exercises tailored to your exact needs. It works patiently at your own pace, letting you spend more time on what's challenging and less on what you've already mastered. You might have already experienced a little bit of this. Have you ever used a language learning app? Many of them use AI to notice which words you forget and which grammar rules you've mastered, adapting your lessons to help you improve faster. Another incredible benefit is how AI can make learning open to everyone. Imagine a student in a very remote village or a student with a disability. AI-powered tools on computers or tablets can deliver high-quality lessons through online platforms, helping to break down old barriers like distance or a shortage of local teachers. For instance, speech-to-text technology can create live captions for a student who is hard of hearing, while instant translation tools can assist someone learning in a second language. It's truly amazing how technology can help make education more inclusive and fair. And what about teachers? AI can be a powerful assistant for them, too. It can help save precious time by quickly grading multiple-choice quizzes, analyzing patterns in how the whole class is performing, and even suggesting which topics might need to be reviewed again. This can free up teachers to focus on what they do best, the inspiring, human parts of teaching, like leading deep discussions, offering one-on-one encouragement, and nurturing curiosity. But now, let's thoughtfully consider the other side, the challenges and worries that come with bringing AI into the classroom. A major concern is that relying too much on machines might weaken the human heart of education. Think about your favorite teacher. What made them special? It probably wasn't just their knowledge, but also their ability to understand how you were feeling, to motivate you when you were frustrated, and to celebrate your successes with genuine joy. An AI can provide information, but it cannot truly care. It lacks empathy, warmth, and that spark of inspiration. Could an overdependence on technology make students feel less connected, less motivated, or even just like a set of data points? Then there is the very serious issue of fairness. AI systems learn from the data they're given. If that data contains hidden biases, for example, if it was mostly based on students from one particular background, the AI's decisions might be unfair. Imagine an AI grading system for essays that wasn't trained on diverse cultural expressions. It might unfairly lower the score of a student who writes in a different, but perfectly valid style. This isn't just frustrating, it could reinforce existing inequalities. Privacy is another huge concern. To be helpful, AI tools often collect a lot of detailed information about a student, their strengths, their weaknesses, how long they take on a problem, and where they struggle. While this data is used to personalize learning, it raises big questions. Where is this sensitive information stored? How securely is it protected? Who else might get to see it? We must be very careful about the digital footprint we create in the name of education. So, what does all this mean? The journey of AI in education is not about choosing between all good or all bad. It's a balancing act. It's about harnessing the incredible power of AI as a supportive tool, a tireless tutor, a helpful organizer, a key to accessibility, while fiercely protecting the irreplaceable human elements of teaching, mentorship, emotional support, and ethical guidance. The future of learning will likely be a partnership. Imagine a classroom where teachers use AI to handle routine tasks and gain insights, so they have more time and energy to do what only humans can: to connect, to inspire, and to guide each unique student on their learning journey. The goal isn't to replace the teacher with a machine, but to give the teacher the best tools possible to help every single student succeed, of course. Here is that next section, rewritten to be simple, clear, and thoughtfully expanded. Let's keep exploring that other side of the coin, the questions and concerns that make us pause and think carefully about this new technology in our schools. First, think about that idea of privacy we mentioned. To be truly helpful, an AI tutor needs to know a lot about you, what you find easy, where you get stuck, how quickly you learn, and even what time of day you focus best. This creates a very detailed learning profile of you as a student. So, we have to ask, would you feel comfortable knowing a machine holds that much personal information about how you think and learn? While the goal is to help you, it's crucial that this data is kept safe, secure, and private. We must have strong rules about who can see it and how it can be used, so it helps students without putting them at risk. Another big worry for many people is about jobs. If AI tools become very advanced at delivering lessons and grading work, could they eventually replace some teaching jobs? It's a natural fear. The important thing to remember is that AI is best thought of as a powerful tool or an assistant, not a substitute. Think of it like this: a calculator didn't replace math teachers. It became a tool that helped students solve more complex problems. In the same way, AI can handle routine tasks, like drilling vocabulary, grading simple quizzes, or organizing lesson materials, freeing up the human teacher for the work that only a person can do. That work is about inspiring curiosity, mentoring through personal challenges, and building trusting relationships. Can a machine sense when a student is feeling discouraged and offer the right word of encouragement? Can it foster a love of learning through a shared laugh or a story? Most people agree that the heart of teaching is human, and that is something technology cannot replicate. Finally, there is a very practical problem: the cost. Developing and maintaining sophisticated AI systems requires a lot of money for the software, the computers to run it, and the experts to manage it. This creates a risk of a digital divide. Imagine if only wealthy schools in well-funded neighborhoods can afford the best AI tutors and smartest classrooms, while schools in poorer or more remote areas have to make do with outdated textbooks and fewer resources. Instead of making education more equal for everyone, this technology could accidentally make the gap between rich and poor students even wider. If we want AI to be a force for good, we have to find ways to make it affordable and accessible to all schools, not just a lucky few. So, when we look at everything together, we see that AI has this amazing, double-sided potential. On one hand, it could revolutionize education, making learning deeply personalized, incredibly efficient, and more accessible than ever before. On the other hand, it brings serious challenges around privacy, the human touch, and fairness that we cannot ignore. This leads us to the biggest question of all: should we rush to embrace AI in every classroom, or should we move forward with careful caution? The wisest path is likely a balanced one. We should enthusiastically explore and use AI's gifts, like the amazing ways it is already starting to reshape the learning experience for students and teachers. Let's look a little deeper at those exciting changes. One of the biggest impacts is in personalized learning. Imagine a classroom where, through the help of AI, every student truly gets a lesson plan made for them. A student who grasps science concepts quickly could move ahead to more challenging projects, while another student who needs more time with the basics gets patient, step-by-step guidance from an AI program until they feel confident. This kind of individual attention was almost impossible for a single teacher with a classroom of 30 students to manage perfectly. Now, AI can help make it a reality, potentially making learning more enjoyable and effective for everyone. AI is also transforming how we access information. Gone are the days of being limited to a single textbook. Now, AI-powered platforms can act like a brilliant, personal librarian. They can recommend the perfect article, video, or interactive simulation for your specific project or question, organizing a world of online knowledge just for you. Have you ever noticed a learning app or website that seems to know what you should study next? That's AI working behind the scenes to make your learning journey smoother and more engaging. In language learning, AI truly shines. Tools like conversation chatbots allow you to practice speaking a new language anytime without the fear of embarrassment. You can have a dialogue in Spanish or French at midnight if you want, getting immediate feedback on your pronunciation and grammar. This constant, patient practice helps build real confidence, which is a huge part of becoming fluent. Even tests and assessments are getting smarter. Instead of just getting a red X or a final score, AI-driven systems can analyze why you made a mistake. For example, on an essay, an AI tool can point out if you're arg now. Let's give our full attention to the significant challenges and ethical concerns that accompany AI's entry into the classroom. It's crucial to look at these not to cause fear, but to ensure we build an educational future that is wise, fair, and truly human. One of the most discussed worries is our overdependence on technology. Imagine if students, knowing an AI can solve any math problem with a click, stop trying to work through the logical steps themselves. The risk is that we might lose vital skills like deep critical thinking, creative problem solving, and the intellectual perseverance that comes from struggling with a challenge. If a machine always provides the answer, will we still learn how to find the answer? This over-reliance could potentially dull our creativity and our ability to think independently, which are the very skills that help us innovate and adapt in an unpredictable world. This leads directly to another critical and very real problem: the digital divide. The exciting world of AI tutors and smart classrooms requires devices, reliable high-speed internet, and maintenance, resources that are far from universal. This creates a dangerous gap. Students in well-funded communities sprint ahead with cutting-edge tools, while students in underprivileged or remote areas are left further behind, sometimes struggling even for basic educational materials. If we are not deliberate, this technology meant to create opportunity could instead cement inequality, making the gap between the haves and the have-nots a permanent chasm. We must ask ourselves, how can we ensure the benefits of AI reach every student, regardless of their zip code or family income? Naturally, with machines taking on tasks like grading and lesson planning, concerns about teacher displacement arise. Could AI make some teaching roles unnecessary? Most experts and educators argue powerfully that AI should be viewed not as a replacement, but as the most powerful support tool a teacher has ever had. A machine can inform, but a teacher inspires. A program can quiz you, but a teacher understands your life context. The empathy, the spontaneous mentorship, the ability to navigate complex classroom dynamics and foster community, these are profoundly human qualities that AI cannot begin to replicate. The real question is not if we will have teachers, but how we can best support them with these new tools to amplify their irreplaceable human impact. Underpinning all of this is the pressing issue of data privacy. For AI to personalize learning, it must collect and analyze a vast amount of sensitive data, not just grades, but a student's pace, their common mistakes, their engagement patterns, and even their behavioral tendencies. This creates a detailed digital profile of a young learner. The big question is, what happens to this information? Who owns it? Could it be used to unfairly label a student in the future? Strong, transparent safeguards are non-negotiable. Would you feel comfortable with your every learning habit being tracked and stored, even if the stated goal is to help you? Furthermore, AI systems are not magically objective. They suffer from algorithmic bias. Since they learn from existing human-generated data, they can inherit and even amplify the biases present in that data. Picture an AI essay grader trained primarily on writing from one cultural perspective. It might unfairly penalize a student who expresses brilliant ideas in a different, but equally valid style. Or, a career guidance algorithm trained on outdated workforce data might steer girls away from STEM fields. Addressing this requires constant vigilance, diverse development teams, and a commitment to fairness from the companies creating these tools. We must hold developers accountable to ensure their creations promote equity, not prejudice. Finally, we come to the emotional heart of learning. Education is not a simple data transfer. It is deeply connected to building confidence, resilience, and social skills. A student facing anxiety isn't just missing information. They need a reassuring smile, a patient ear, or a shared moment of understanding. An AI might detect the struggle, but it cannot provide the genuine human connection that makes a student feel seen, valued, and capable. An over-reliance on cold, efficient machines could make the learning journey feel impersonal, lonely, and detached from the human relationships that give it meaning and joy. So, where does this leave us as we try to envision the classroom of the future? Let's imagine it. You walk into a classroom where AI is seamlessly integrated. Every student has access to an AI assistant, a patient, limitless resource that can answer factual questions in an instant, offer a second explanation of a complex concept in a different way, or provide real-time translation to include a classmate who is just learning the language. The teacher, freed from the burden of administrative tasks and one-size-fits-all lectures, moves around the room. They lead a spirited debate, kneel beside a student for a quiet, encouraging chat, and design rich, collaborative projects that the AI helps facilitate. In this balanced vision, the machine handles information while the human handles inspiration, guidance, and care. This future isn't guaranteed. It is a choice. By openly discussing both the dazzling opportunities and the serious risks, we can guide the development of AI in education toward a future that uses technology not to replace our humanity, but to finally give it the space and support to truly flourish. Human is weak in one spot, if you're overusing certain words, or if your paragraphs could be better organized. This kind of instant, detailed feedback turns a simple test into a powerful learning moment, helping you understand and improve in ways a simple letter grade never could. While these benefits are truly exciting, they bring us back full circle to the challenges. The very tools that offer personalized practice and 24/7 access also collect our data. The systems that make learning efficient also cost money that not every school has. The journey isn't about choosing yes or no to AI. It's about moving forward thoughtfully, harnessing its incredible power to help all students, while being smart, careful, and fair in how we build it into the future of education. Here is a simple, clear, and expanded version of that text, continuing our thoughtful conversation about AI in schools. In this vision of a future classroom, where AI assistants handle routine questions and explanations, the teacher's role could transform beautifully. Freed from the heavy load of administrative tasks and one-size-fits-all lectures, teachers could focus on what they do best, guiding deep, meaningful discussions, encouraging out-of-the-box creativity, and offering one-on-one mentorship that truly sees and nurtures the individual student. They become the facilitators of human connection and intellectual curiosity. But this bright possibility raises an important and practical question. Would these powerful AI tools lead to more interactive and engaged learning, or would they accidentally make students overly dependent on technology? There's a fine line between using a tool and relying on it as a crutch. We must be careful to design classrooms where technology activates students' own minds, rather than putting them to sleep. Beyond the physical classroom, AI is also building bridges across the globe by enabling rich virtual learning spaces. Imagine students from different continents, a student in India and a student in Brazil, coming together online for a joint science project. AI-powered translation and collaboration tools could help them communicate and share ideas seamlessly, turning a simple assignment into a lesson in global citizenship. This exposure to diverse cultures and perspectives is a priceless part of education, preparing young people for a deeply interconnected world. It sounds like an exciting and inclusive future, doesn't it? However, this brings us back to a core concern: critical thinking and creativity. This is perhaps the most important worry about AI in education. AI excels at providing answers and optimized solutions, but does it teach someone how to ask a new question? For instance, if a math app instantly gives a step-by-step solution every time a student is stuck, will that student ever develop the grit and ingenuity to wrestle with a truly unfamiliar problem? Similarly, with AI essay writers that can generate text with a click, will students miss the struggle and reward of developing their own unique voice and original thoughts? Some educators fear that over-reliance on these efficient tools could create passive learners, students who consume information but don't learn to construct their own understanding. They worry AI might, unintentionally, stifle the creative and critical spark it is meant to kindle. So, what's the way forward? The answer isn't to reject the tools, but to use them more wisely. Interestingly, some innovative schools are already using AI to fuel creativity, not replace it. Imagine students using AI as a creative partner to help compose a piece of music, generate concepts for a digital art project, or prototype a simple app. In these cases, the AI acts like an infinite source of suggestions and resources, while the student remains the director, the decision maker, and the true artist. By blending human imagination with machine capability, we can open doors to new forms of expression. Could this collaborative approach be the key to ensuring AI supports creativity rather than hindering it? As we integrate AI more deeply, we must also confront significant ethical dilemmas and our social responsibility. The digital divide is the most urgent of these. This isn't just a small gap, it's a chasm. If advanced AI tools require expensive devices and fast internet, they risk creating a two-tiered education system: a high-tech, personalized experience for the privileged and an under-resourced, traditional experience for everyone else. This would make education profoundly unfair. Bridging this divide will require a major, coordinated effort from governments, technology companies, and communities to ensure AI resources are affordable and accessible to all students, everywhere. It's a massive challenge, and we must ask ourselves, is this a priority we are willing to fight for? Another deep ethical concern is about who builds these systems and whose values they carry. AI doesn't create its own biases. It learns them from the data and the people who program it. If an AI grading system is developed by a team with a narrow cultural perspective, it might unfairly mark down essays that use different storytelling styles or expressions. This isn't just a technical error, it's a form of digital prejudice. Therefore, developers have a huge responsibility to build fairness and inclusivity directly into their tools, and there is a growing call for clear regulations to ensure these systems are ethical and just. Finally, and most importantly, we must consider emotional and social development. School is about so much more than academic knowledge. It's a training ground for life. It's where we learn resilience from failure, build confidence through encouragement, and develop empathy by navigating friendships and team dynamics. A student struggling with anxiety needs a teacher's compassionate look or a peer's supportive whisper, nuances no algorithm can replicate. If we let screens and AI interactions dominate the school day, we risk making learning a more impersonal, isolated experience. The warmth of human connection is not a nice-to-have. It is the very foundation upon which secure and motivated learners are built. So, as we stand at this crossroads, the path forward isn't a simple yes or no to AI. It's about making intentional choices. It's about harnessing technology's power to connect, personalize, and inspire, while fiercely protecting the human heart of education, the relationships, the creativity, and the ethical guidance that shape us not just as students, but as people. The ultimate goal is a partnership where AI handles the information, so humans have more time and space for the transformation. Let's continue this important conversation by focusing on what might be the most crucial part of all, the human skills that shape who we are. You are absolutely right. Education is about so much more than learning facts. It is the training ground where we develop empathy by seeing the world through a classmate's eyes. It's where we build teamwork by navigating a group project, learning to compromise, share credit, and solve conflicts. It's where we hone communication skills through discussion, debate, and simply sharing ideas. These abilities are woven into the fabric of human interaction. They cannot be downloaded or programmed. A heavy, unthinking reliance on AI could risk diminishing these precious opportunities. If students are constantly focused on individual screens interacting with a machine, when will they practice the messy, beautiful, and essential art of working together? On the other hand, we must acknowledge that AI can play a surprising role in supporting emotional well-being. Some schools are cautiously introducing AI-powered chatbots as a first point of contact for students feeling stressed or anxious. These bots can offer initial coping strategies, provide mindfulness exercises, and use pattern recognition to alert a human counselor if a student's language suggests they need urgent help. Think of them as a 24/7 available, non-judgmental listening ear. While they are never a substitute for a caring professional or a trusted teacher, they can be a valuable, accessible resource in a world where mental health support is often stretched thin. This leads us to a delicate question. Can we trust AI with a role in our emotional development? The answer likely lies in seeing it as a helpful tool in a larger toolkit, not as the solution itself. Looking forward, a major purpose of school is preparing students for the future workforce, and that future is undeniably intertwined with AI. Industries from healthcare to engineering are being transformed. Therefore, education must equip students not just to use AI, but to thrive alongside it. This means teaching technical, hard skills like understanding how algorithms work, alongside irreplaceable soft skills like adaptability, ethical reasoning, and creative problem-solving, the very skills AI lacks. Some forward-thinking schools are already introducing AI into their curriculum, letting students learn by designing simple AI models. But this innovation raises the familiar, urgent issue of fairness. Will this crucial AI literacy be available only in well-funded schools, creating a new kind of gap? Democratizing this knowledge is essential to ensuring the next generation isn't divided into those who command technology and those who are commanded by it. Considering all this, the long-term implications are profound. Will future students rely on AI to the point where traditional learning, like deep reading, handwritten notes, or memorizing foundational facts, becomes obsolete? Could we accidentally build a society that undervalues critical thinking and interpersonal connection? Or, if we guide this technology wisely, could AI help usher in a golden age of education, one that is truly personalized, universally accessible, and more effective at helping every single student reach their potential? These questions aren't just theoretical, they're a roadmap for the choices we make today. They highlight the non-negotiable need for a balanced approach, one that is always asking, are we leveraging AI's strengths without surrendering to its limitations? This brings us, finally and most importantly, to the irreplaceable role of the teacher. Even in the most advanced AI-driven classroom, the teacher remains the heart and soul of learning. Teachers are not just knowledge delivery systems. They are mentors, motivators, and living examples of lifelong learning. They bring emotional intelligence. They can sense discouragement from a slumped posture or spark confidence with a well-timed smile. They offer cultural understanding and moral guidance that no algorithm can process. Most critically, teachers are the guardians of critical thinking. While AI can provide answers, it is the teacher who guides students to ask better, more meaningful questions. During a classroom debate, for instance, a teacher can gently challenge assumptions, introduce an alternative perspective, and model how to disagree with respect and curiosity. They create the environment where human skills, empathy, ethics, resilience, are practiced and valued. In the end, the most promising future is not a choice between human teachers and AI tools. It is a powerful collaboration. Imagine a classroom where AI handles personalized drills, grades routine work, and provides endless data, freeing the teacher to do what only a human can, to inspire a love of learning, to nurture curiosity, and to build the relationships that turn information into wisdom. The goal is to use technology not to replace the teacher, but to finally give them the space and support to be more human than ever before. Absolutely. Let's continue to unfold this conversation, focusing on the irreplaceable human guide in the classroom, the exciting possibilities for learners of all ages, and the serious responsibilities we must accept. You've touched on the most vital role of a teacher, challenging students to think deeper and wider. In a classroom debate, a teacher doesn't just manage the conversation. They can gently introduce a perspective no student considered, asking, "But what if we looked at it from this side?" They encourage students to question their own assumptions and build stronger, more analytical reasoning. This leads to a pivotal question. Now that AI can efficiently handle repetitive tasks like grading multiple-choice quizzes or drilling vocabulary, shouldn't this free teachers to focus more energy on these essential human skills? The answer seems to be a resounding yes. This shift could transform teaching from information delivery to the cultivation of wisdom. Furthermore, in our digital age, teachers become the essential guides for navigating ethical complexity. AI is a tool, and like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or ill. Students need to understand not just how to use AI, but why and when to use it responsibly. Teachers are uniquely positioned to lead crucial discussions on data privacy, what are you giving away when you use a free learning app? Algorithmic bias, how can a machine be unfair, and how do we spot it? Societal impact, what happens to jobs, relationships, and truth in a world filled with AI? By integrating these topics, teachers prepare students to be informed, ethical, and empowered digital citizens. This isn't a side subject. Shouldn't digital ethics be a core priority in every modern classroom? The story of AI in learning doesn't end at graduation. It powerfully supports lifelong learning. Our world changes rapidly, and adults continually need to learn new skills. AI-powered platforms like Coursera or Duolingo are revolutionizing this by using algorithms to recommend the perfect next course, track your progress with patience, and adjust the difficulty to keep you in the flow state, challenged but not frustrated. Have you ever used a tool like this to pick up a new hobby or skill? In the professional world, AI-driven corporate training is making development hyper-efficient. Instead of a one-size-fits-all seminar, an AI system can create a custom learning path for each employee. A marketing professional might get modules on the latest data analytics tools, while a new manager receives training on empathetic leadership. This targeted approach makes every minute of training more impactful. Could this make meaningful professional development a reality for everyone, not just those at large companies? AI also supercharges informal learning. Imagine exploring the Roman Colosseum through an immersive VR tour guided by an AI historian, or practicing Spanish with a chatbot that perfectly mimics conversations from Madrid to Mexico City. These tools make learning an adventure, appealing to those who find traditional textbooks limiting. What kind of experience would you choose? Learning astronomy through a simulated galaxy, or mastering guitar with an AI tutor that listens and gives real-time feedback? However, as we embrace these benefits, we must consciously and directly address the serious downsides. The fear of job displacement for educators is real and understandable. If AI can tutor, grade, and plan lessons, what is left for the teacher? The consensus among thoughtful experts is that AI should be a complement, not a replacement. The vision is one of partnership. Let the AI handle the administrative burden and data analysis, thereby giving back precious time to the teacher. This time is then reinvested into the deeply human work of mentorship, inspiration, and complex problem-solving. Is this a fair balance? It is the only sustainable one, ensuring technology serves people, not the other way around. Perhaps the most urgent downside is AI's potential to exacerbate inequality. This is the digital divide on steroids. If only wealthy private schools can afford cutting-edge AI tutors, smart labs, and customized learning platforms, they create an almost unbridgeable advantage. A student in an under-resourced school, without reliable internet or modern devices, would be left further behind than ever before. This isn't a minor side effect. It's a threat to the fundamental promise of equal opportunity. Addressing this will require more than goodwill. It will demand concerted action from governments, communities, and tech companies to subsidize access and ensure these powerful tools are public goods, not private privileges. In conclusion, the path forward is clear but requires careful navigation. We must actively choose to use AI as a tool for empowerment and access, not exclusion. We must design systems that amplify teachers, not attempt to replace them. And we must ensure that as we build these exciting new frontiers in education, we bring every learner along, creating a future that is not only more technologically advanced, but also more equitable and human. Now, we arrive at the most critical questions of all. How do we ensure this powerful technology builds a better future for every student, and how do we protect what makes us human in the process? First and foremost, we must tackle the issue of equal access. The wonderful potential of AI means nothing if it's only a privilege for a few. So, how can we make sure every student, regardless of their background, has a fair chance to benefit? This requires more than just goodwill. It demands concrete action. Governments and school districts need to invest in infrastructure, providing reliable internet and necessary devices for all schools. Technology companies could offer scaled pricing or free licenses to underfunded public schools. Communities can create after-school tech hubs. It's a big challenge, but viewing AI in education as a public necessity, like textbooks or libraries, is the first step toward closing this digital divide. Hand in hand with access is the monumental concern of privacy and security. For AI to personalize learning, it collects a tremendously detailed dossier on a student. Not just grades, but how long they hesitate on a question, what times they log in, what topics make them click away. This is deeply personal information. If this data is not guarded with the utmost security, it could be hacked, sold to advertisers, or used to build profiles that might unfairly follow a student for years. Schools and developers must implement military-grade data protection and, just as importantly, be completely transparent with families about what is being collected and why. So, we must ask, would you feel comfortable with your learning journey being tracked this intimately, even if the goal is to help? Trust must be earned through transparency and ironclad security. Furthermore, we have to confront the thorny problem of bias in AI algorithms. An AI doesn't have intentions, but it learns from our world, and our world has biases. If the data used to train an AI tutoring system comes mostly from one demographic or culture, the AI might unintentionally see that as the norm. For instance, it might recommend science projects that subtly favor boys, or history content that overlooks certain cultures. This isn't just a glitch, it's a digital reinforcement of real-world prejudices. Solving this requires developers to use diverse datasets and have diverse teams building the tools. It also requires constant monitoring and updating. Is bias inevitable? Perhaps to some degree, but that makes the active, ongoing fight for fairness and inclusivity all the more important. All of these technical challenges lead us back to the essential human core of learning. Balancing AI and human interaction is not just a nice idea, it's the key to a healthy education. School is where we learn to read a room, to work through a disagreement with a lab partner, to feel the support of a team. These lessons in empathy, cooperation, and community happen in the spaces between facts, during group projects, lively debates, and even casual lunchroom conversations. An over-reliance on AI, with students isolated behind screens, could make education a lonely and impersonal experience, stripping away these vital opportunities for social growth. Therefore, many believe the ideal model is a thoughtful hybrid. In this classroom, AI acts as a powerful support system. It handles the routine tasks, grading homework, drilling flashcards, and generating progress reports. This gift of time and data allows the teacher to focus on the irreplaceable human work, mentoring a struggling student one-on-one, facilitating a Socratic seminar where ideas clash and grow, and designing projects that require teamwork and creativity. In this partnership, students get the best of both worlds, the limitless, patient assistance of technology and the empathetic guidance of a caring adult. This hybrid model also prepares students for the future in a profound way. Learning to collaborate with AI is becoming a crucial 21st century skill. In their future careers, they will likely work with intelligent tools daily. By using AI responsibly in the classroom, questioning its suggestions, understanding its limits, and leveraging its strengths, they learn not just to be users of technology, but thoughtful partners with it. The key skills for this future aren't just coding, they are critical thinking, ethical judgment, and adaptability. Finally, let's consider this from the student's perspective. Personalized learning. This is where AI can feel like magic. Imagine you're a student who just can't grasp fractions. Instead of feeling lost as the class moves on, your AI learning platform notices your struggle. It gently pauses the curriculum and offers you a different explanation, maybe a video, then an interactive game, then a set of practice problems tailored to your specific mistakes. It doesn't judge you for being slow. It patiently stays with you until that aha moment arrives. This is personalized learning, content, pacing, and feedback that adapt to you. It turns education from a standard lecture into a custom-fitted journey, ensuring you build a solid foundation before taking the next step. For the student, it can transform frustration into confidence, making learning not just more effective, but more empowering and genuinely engaging. Let's continue to explore this from the student's desk and the teacher's desk, seeing how AI reshapes the experience of learning and teaching day by day. From the student's perspective, this level of personalization is revolutionary. In a traditional classroom with one teacher and many students, lessons have to be taught to the middle. If you learn faster, you might feel bored waiting. If you learn differently, you might feel lost and left behind. Have you ever had that feeling where the class moves on before you've really understood? AI changes this dynamic. It acts like a personal academic guide for each student, ensuring no one is overlooked. It adjusts in real time, making education more inclusive for every type of learner. For example, a student who loves and excels in literature could be given more advanced novels and creative writing prompts by the AI, keeping them challenged and engaged. At the same time, That same student who finds science confusing could receive extra, patient tutorials and interactive simulations from the AI until the concept clicks. This approach helps reframe strengths and weaknesses not as fixed labels, but as dynamic areas of growth. It sends a powerful message. Where you are is okay, and I'm here to help you grow from right here. How might this change a student's confidence and self-perception? This customization extends powerfully to exam preparation. AI-driven study platforms use sophisticated techniques like spaced repetition. This means the system cleverly analyzes what you forget quickly and shows you those flashcards or practice questions at the perfect moment to cement them in your long-term memory. It's like having a study partner with a perfect memory for what you find tough. This allows students to study smarter, not harder, focusing their precious time and energy exactly where it's needed. Wouldn't a tool that eliminates wasted study time be a game changer for your routine? Perhaps one of the most profound impacts is on students with special needs. AI tools are being designed to break down barriers for learners with dyslexia, ADHD, visual impairments, or motor challenges. Text-to-speech software can read any digital material aloud. Speech-to-text can transcribe a student's spoken answers. Interfaces can be simplified, distractions minimized, and content presented in multiple sensory formats. These aren't just conveniences. They are gateways to independence and participation, offering every student a dignified and equitable chance to succeed. What does it mean for a classroom when technology actively works to include everyone? Now, let's shift to the teacher's perspective. For educators, AI holds the promise of being a powerful assistant that reduces administrative workload. Grading stacks of quizzes or homework is time-consuming. AI can handle the grading of routine assignments, from multiple choice to structured short answers, giving back hours of a teacher's week. This freed-up time can be redirected to the heart of teaching, mentoring a student one-on-one, designing a hands-on project, or providing rich, narrative feedback on a complex essay. Furthermore, AI can help track student progress with incredible depth. Instead of a teacher trying to mentally keep track of 30 different learning journeys, an AI dashboard can provide clear, visual insights. It might highlight that Maria excels in conceptual thinking but rushes through calculations, or that David understands the material perfectly but gets anxious during tests. Armed with this specific information, a teacher can move from general instruction to targeted intervention, offering David stress management strategies or giving Maria extra practice on careful problem solving. This allows teachers to understand their students more holistically, potentially strengthening the teacher-student relationship through personalized care. However, this powerful tracking leads to a valid and serious concern: the risk of oversurveillance. If every click, hesitation, and score is constantly monitored and analyzed, school can start to feel like a panopticon, a place of constant observation. This can create pressure to perform perfectly at all times and could stifle the natural, messy process of learning through trial and error. Students need intellectual privacy and the freedom to struggle without being constantly judged by a dashboard. Therefore, striking a balance is essential. We must use AI data as a supportive tool to illuminate needs, not as a perpetual judgment device that sacrifices student autonomy and well-being for the sake of measurable efficiency. In essence, the goal is to create a learning environment where technology handles the measurable so human teachers can focus on the immeasurable, fostering curiosity, building resilience, and nurturing the unique potential in every single student. This is the heart of the matter. As we embrace these powerful tools, we must also build strong guardrails to ensure they serve us ethically and enhance our humanity rather than diminish it. So, what safeguards are essential? First, we need robust data privacy laws and transparent policies. Students and parents should have the right to know exactly what data is being collected, be it quiz scores, time spent on tasks, or engagement patterns, how it is stored, who can access it, and how it is protected from breaches. This data should be used strictly for educational benefit, not sold or used for commercial profiling. Imagine a Bill of Rights for student data in the age of AI. Second, we must demand algorithmic transparency and accountability. When an AI system recommends a learning path or a career direction, it should be able to explain why in simple terms. Was it based on the student's own interests, a pattern in their performance, or a bias in its training data? This explainable AI is crucial so that students and teachers can question and understand its guidance, ensuring AI remains a tool for informed choice, not an unchallengeable authority. Third, a commitment to continuous bias auditing is non-negotiable. Since AI learns from our world, which is full of historical inequalities, teams of diverse experts must constantly test these systems for unfairness. This means checking if they disadvantage students from certain backgrounds, dialects, or learning styles, and then actively correcting those flaws. Perfection may be impossible, but a relentless commitment to improvement is mandatory. Crucially, we must design AI to be a collaborator, not a competitor, for teachers. Think of tools that can help a teacher brainstorm a unique lesson plan on climate change, generate draft quiz questions to save time, or create a set of discussion prompts for a novel. For example, a history teacher could ask an AI to quickly compile primary sources, timelines, and virtual tours for a unit on ancient Egypt, allowing the teacher to focus on crafting the compelling narrative and facilitating deep discussion. Does this diminish teacher creativity? Ideally, it does the opposite. It automates the tedious parts, freeing the teacher's mental space and time for the truly creative work of inspiring students. This brings us back to the central ethical considerations, with data privacy at the forefront. The depth of information an AI collects to personalize learning is profound. It's not just what you know, but how you think. The question of comfort is vital. Would you be okay with a machine knowing you so intimately? The only acceptable answer is one where that trust is earned through absolute security, clear purpose, and user control. Alongside privacy, transparency is key. If an AI suggests you focus on engineering over literature, you deserve to know the reasoning behind that suggestion. Without this clarity, there's a danger we might outsource our decision-making and self-understanding to a black box, following its path without reflection. And we cannot escape the issue of algorithmic bias. An AI trained on decades of career data might still steer girls away from coding or students from certain neighborhoods away from advanced programs. Developers bear a profound responsibility to not just build smart tools, but fair ones. This is a solvable problem only if we treat it as a top priority, requiring diverse perspectives in the design process itself. Finally, all of this is meaningless without universal accessibility. If only wealthy schools have these AI collaborators, we will create a permanent divide. Governments and organizations must invest to make this technology a public good, subsidizing devices, providing internet access, and training teachers in all communities. AI must be a bridge to opportunity for every learner, not a new wall separating them. Looking ahead, the future of learning with AI could be incredibly human-centric. Imagine a classroom where each student has an AI assistant that not only tutors them in math, but also notices when they seem frustrated, suggesting a short mindfulness break or a shift to a more visual lesson. It could adapt not just to their intellectual level, but to their emotional and energetic state, fostering a truly holistic learning environment. In this future, the success of AI won't be measured by how well it replaces people, but by how well it enables teachers to teach and students to learn in ways that are more personalized, more equitable, and more focused on the human skills of creativity, empathy, and critical thought. The goal is a partnership where technology handles the tasks of management and information so that people can focus on the meaning, the connection, and the wisdom. Let's imagine the future and then ground it in the real world, because the future of learning is already taking shape around us. If AI becomes a sensitive, responsive part of the classroom, it could fundamentally change how students experience school. Picture a tool that not only teaches algebra but notices when you're losing focus and suggests a 5-minute stretch break or a switch to a more interactive lesson format. It could turn school from a one-speed-fits-all race into a supportive journey that adapts to your pace, your mood, and your moment. The feeling of being constantly behind or bored could soften, replaced by a sense of being seen and guided. Could this make school a less stressful and more empowering place? Many believe it could. This supportive role of AI doesn't end at graduation. It extends powerfully into lifelong learning. In today's fast-changing world, jobs evolve quickly, and adults need to learn new skills constantly. AI platforms could act as a personal career coach, analyzing your strengths and the job market to recommend the perfect online course, a key certification, or even suggest a career path you hadn't considered. It's like having a guide for your entire professional journey. Have you thought about how a tool like that could help you navigate your own future? However, as AI gets smarter, we face a crucial question: where do humans fit in? The line between human and machine roles might blur, but it should never disappear. AI offers incredible efficiency and data-driven precision, but it lacks a human heart. It cannot feel empathy for a struggling learner, share a genuine laugh to build rapport, or bring cultural understanding to a sensitive historical discussion. Therefore, striking a balance is everything. The human role in an AI-driven landscape should be more vital than ever, to provide the moral compass, the creative spark, the inspirational push, and the emotional safe haven. Teachers and mentors become the conductors of the orchestra, blending the powerful instruments of technology with the timeless music of human connection. This isn't just theory. We can see the real-world applications of AI in education today. Language learning apps like Duolingo use AI to personalize your path. If you keep missing a certain verb tense, it will gently give you more practice on it. It turns your phone into a patient, portable tutor. Immersive history with VR. Imagine not just reading about ancient Rome, but putting on a VR headset and walking through the Roman Forum, with an AI guide narrating stories around you. This makes learning an adventure, engaging your senses and emotions in a way a textbook paragraph cannot. Safe science labs. For schools without expensive lab equipment or for dangerous experiments, AI-powered virtual labs let students mix chemicals, dissect frogs, or explore physics principles in a perfectly safe, digital space. This can make science accessible and exciting for everyone. Breaking language barriers. AI translation tools are becoming so smooth that a student listening to a lecture in English could get real-time subtitles in their native language. This ensures that understanding the language isn't a barrier to understanding the concept. All these tools share a goal: to make learning more engaging, accessible, and effective. Yet, with all these benefits, we must again confront the challenges of over-reliance on AI. The greatest risk is that we might outsource our thinking. If an AI can write an essay, will we stop learning to structure an argument ourselves? If it solves every math problem instantly, do we lose the grit and deep understanding that comes from productive struggle? Over-reliance could create passive learners who know how to use a tool, but not how to think without it. It could also widen the empathy gap, as screen time replaces face-to-face collaboration where we learn to read emotions and work as a team. Therefore, the path forward is clear. We must use AI not as a crutch, but as a catalyst, a tool that takes over mundane tasks so our minds are free for what humans do best: wondering, creating, connecting, and caring. The future of education isn't about choosing between people and technology. It's about wisely combining them so that every learner gets both the limitless knowledge of machines and the irreplaceable wisdom of the human heart. Let's look honestly at the challenges that come with bringing AI into the classroom, because only by seeing them clearly can we build a better, more balanced future for learning. One of the biggest concerns is over-reliance. If students turn to AI for instant answers to every problem, they might skip the essential mental struggle that builds true understanding. Imagine a math student who always uses an AI solver. They might get the right answer, but will they ever learn the underlying logic needed to tackle a brand new problem? There's a real risk that convenience could weaken the development of critical thinking and resilient problem-solving skills. So we must ask, how can we balance the incredible support of AI with the undeniable value of traditional learning, like thoughtful practice, productive struggle, and learning from mistakes? Another practical issue is that no technology is perfect. AI systems can have glitches, biases, or gaps in their knowledge. An AI tutor might occasionally present historical facts inaccurately or misunderstand a student's unique question. If students and teachers trust these tools blindly, misinformation can quietly enter the learning process. The safeguard here is to cultivate a mindset where AI is viewed as a starting point, not the final word. Educators and learners must practice digital literacy, checking sources, questioning unexpected results, and using AI as one voice in a broader conversation of discovery. Perhaps the most profound limitation of AI is its inability to replicate the emotional heart of learning. A teacher does more than convey information. They offer encouragement when a student is frustrated, share in the excitement of a breakthrough, and provide a sense of belonging. Peers offer collaboration, camaraderie, and mutual support. An AI might simulate encouragement with pre-written phrases, but it cannot genuinely care. This human connection is what makes learning meaningful and supportive, especially during challenging times. How important is this human element to you? For most, it's irreplaceable. Finally, the challenge of equitable access remains a serious barrier. For all its potential, AI requires devices, reliable electricity, and strong internet connectivity, resources that are still out of reach for many schools and communities worldwide. Without deliberate intervention, this could create a two-tier system, tech-enhanced education for some, and left-behind classrooms for others. Bridging this gap will require committed collaboration between governments, nonprofits, and technology companies to invest in infrastructure, provide affordable devices, and support teacher training in all communities. How can we ensure that AI becomes a force for equal opportunity rather than a new source of division? Beyond these challenges, let's explore a promising and very personal application of AI: career guidance and skill development. For a student unsure about their future, AI can act as a personalized guidance counselor. By analyzing interests, academic strengths, and even work style preferences, AI tools can suggest career paths a young person might not have considered. For example, a student who loves both art and technology might be pointed toward careers in digital design or architectural visualization. This isn't about dictating a destiny, but about opening doors and expanding horizons. Would you find this kind of data-informed insight helpful as you think about your own path? In our fast-changing world, continuous learning is essential. AI is at the heart of modern upskilling. Platforms for professional learning use AI to recommend courses tailored to your career goals, identify skills gaps, and even predict future industry trends. They create a personalized learning journey that adapts as you grow. Have you ever taken an online course based on a recommendation from such a platform? Moreover, AI is transforming professional preparation. Imagine practicing for a job interview with an AI coach that analyzes your responses, suggests clearer ways to communicate your strengths, and puts you through realistic scenarios. Similarly, professional networking platforms use AI to intelligently connect you with mentors, peers, and opportunities aligned with your aspirations. These tools help demystify the professional world and build confidence. In the end, the most balanced approach is to see AI as a powerful guide and assistant in education and career development, one that provides information, personalization, and practice, while remembering that the final decisions, the creative leaps, the ethical judgments, and the human encouragement must always come from us. The future belongs not to those who can work the machines, but to those who can work wisely with them, using technology to amplify our uniquely human potential. Let's bring this important conversation to a thoughtful close by looking at how we can prepare for the future, one where AI is a partner, not a replacement, and how it can make learning deeply personal. First, let's consider AI in professional settings. While AI can suggest connections on a networking site or recommend skills to highlight, it cannot replicate the nuanced dance of human interaction. It might miss the subtle confidence in someone's voice during a handshake, the shared understanding in a glance, or the trust built through shared experience. So, while AI is a powerful tool for managing professional information and opportunities, there will likely always be a human gap when it comes to building genuine relationships, reading unspoken cues, and exercising empathy. Do you think technology will ever truly close that gap, or is preserving that human space essential? This leads us to the vital task of preparing for an AI-driven future. To thrive, students will need more than just the ability to use apps. They'll need AI literacy. This means understanding how these systems work, their strengths, their biases, and how to apply them wisely. Some schools are starting to integrate this into lessons, helping students become informed users and even future creators of this technology. Would you be interested in learning not just with AI, but about AI as part of your education? Equally important is fostering ethical awareness. As future professionals, students must grapple with the big questions. How do we protect privacy? How do we fight algorithmic bias? What is AI's impact on society? These discussions shouldn't be an afterthought. They should be a core part of learning. Do you feel these critical ethical conversations are getting enough attention in classrooms today? Ultimately, building a future we can trust requires collaboration. Educators, policymakers, and technologists must work together. This means creating smart regulations for AI in schools, investing in teacher training so they can confidently use these tools, and insisting that technology is designed to be inclusive from the start. How do you envision this partnership working best to ensure AI serves everyone fairly? Now, let's focus on one of AI's most celebrated gifts to education: personalized learning. For generations, the traditional classroom has often followed a one-size-fits-all model. A single teacher presents a lesson at a single pace, aiming for the middle. This leaves advanced students bored and waiting, while others who need more time can feel lost and left behind. AI offers a promising solution by tailoring the educational experience to the individual. Imagine an adaptive learning platform that acts like a personal coach. It continuously analyzes your work, noticing that you've mastered algebra but struggle with geometry proofs. It then customizes your path, providing extra tutorials, practice problems, and visual explanations specifically for proofs, while letting you move ahead in algebra. This ensures your study time is efficient, focused, and much less frustrating. If you had such a tool, how do you think it would change your learning experience? This is called differentiated instruction, and AI makes it possible at scale. Platforms can let each student learn at their own pace. One student might dive into advanced calculus problems with supporting videos, while another spends more time on foundational concepts, all within the same virtual classroom. Have you ever felt the frustration of a class moving too fast or too slow for you? This technology aims to eliminate that feeling, meeting you right where you are. Furthermore, AI can provide real-time, detailed feedback that goes far beyond a red X. On a writing assignment, for instance, an AI tool could highlight not just grammatical errors, but also suggest ways to strengthen your argument, vary your sentence structure, or improve the flow of your paragraphs. It's like having a writing tutor available at any hour, offering guidance to help you refine and improve your own unique voice. In essence, personalized learning through AI holds the promise of a system that sees, understands, and adapts to the individual learner. It champions the idea that everyone's learning journey is unique and that with the right support, every student can build understanding at their own pace, with confidence and clarity. Let's conclude by looking at how AI acts as a detailed coach, a tireless assistant, and why, despite its power, it must be guided by a strong ethical compass. The power of AI in personalized feedback is transformative. Tools like Grammarly do more than just fix errors. They explain why a comma is needed or how to make a sentence more active, turning a correction into a mini-lesson. In language learning, an AI might explain the cultural nuance behind a phrase, helping you understand not just the words, but their meaning. This kind of feedback is immediate, specific, and fosters a much deeper understanding. How do you think having a guide that not only points out missteps but also teaches you the why behind them would change your learning process? #, AI as a teaching assistant. AI's role as a 24/7 teaching assistant is a true game changer. Imagine it's late at night, and you're stuck on a physics problem or a confusing historical timeline. Instead of waiting for office hours, you could ask an AI assistant for help. Systems like these can walk you through the problem step by step, offer different ways to solve it, and even suggest related topics to explore. It's like having a patient tutor available at any moment. Would you value having this kind of constant academic support alongside your teacher's guidance? For educators, this assistant role is equally powerful in freeing up their time. AI can automate the most time-consuming administrative tasks, grading routine quizzes, taking attendance, and organizing lesson materials. This doesn't replace the teacher's judgment. It simply removes the logistical burden. The precious hours saved can be redirected to what matters most: thoughtful lesson planning, one-on-one mentoring, and fostering a vibrant classroom community. How could a teacher use this gift of time to make your classroom experience richer? Furthermore, AI can help teachers identify students who need help earlier. Through predictive analytics, an AI system can notice patterns, like a student who consistently struggles with a specific type of math problem, and alert the teacher. This allows for proactive, targeted support before a small difficulty becomes a major setback. It ensures no student slips through the cracks. Can you recall a time a teacher noticed you needed extra help? That human attention is irreplaceable, and AI can help teachers direct it where it's needed most. #, the ethical considerations of AI in education. As we welcome these tools, we must confront serious ethical questions with clear eyes. 1. Data privacy *. This is paramount. AI systems require immense amounts of personal student data to function: grades, interaction patterns, even indicators of engagement. This information is incredibly sensitive. A data breach or misuse could have long-lasting consequences. The critical question is, are current policies strong enough to protect this digital footprint of a student's mind? Many argue we need even stricter, universally applied regulations to ensure this data is used only for educational benefit and guarded with the highest security. 2. Algorithmic bias * AI learns from our world, and our world has historical biases. If an AI system for career guidance is trained on decades of data, where certain roles were dominated by one gender, it might unconsciously steer students along those same outdated paths. This isn't science fiction. It's a real risk. Educational institutions must demand that developers audit their AI for fairness and work with diverse teams to build these systems. It's an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. 3. Transparency and trust *. Often, AI systems are black boxes. A student might receive a learning path recommendation or a grade suggestion with no understanding of how the AI arrived at that conclusion. This lack of transparency can breed mistrust and a sense of powerlessness. We need explainable AI, systems that can clearly state their reasoning in terms students and teachers can understand. This ensures AI remains a tool for guidance, not an inscrutable authority. In the end, the goal is to create a learning environment where AI acts as a powerful, ethical, and transparent partner. It handles data-driven tasks, provides endless patience for practice, and offers insightful feedback, all to free up human educators to do what only they can: inspire, connect, empathize, and guide students not just in academics, but in character. The future of education lies not in choosing between human and machine, but in wisely weaving them together to uplift every learner. Let's thoughtfully explore these final layers, addressing the ethical hesitations, the global promise, and the tangible ways AI is reshaping the very feel of a classroom. Addressing ethical concerns and building trust. You've raised the core issue of transparency and trust. When an AI tool makes a decision, like grading an essay or recommending a learning path, it can feel like a black box. This lack of understanding naturally leads to resistance. Should companies be required to explain how their algorithms work? Many argue yes. Just as we expect food labels to list ingredients, we might need algorithmic explainability for educational AI. This doesn't mean revealing proprietary secrets, but rather providing a clear, simple reasoning. For example, this recommendation was made because you excelled in analytical tasks and showed interest in environmental science. Transparency builds trust and allows teachers and students to engage with AI as informed partners, not passive recipients. Then there's the human concern: job displacement. The fear that AI assistants and automated systems could replace teachers and support staff is real and valid. However, the prevailing and most ethical view is that AI should complement, not replace, human roles. The irreplaceable value of a teacher lies in mentorship, inspiration, and emotional support, areas where AI cannot truly function. The goal is to use AI to lift the administrative burden from educators, allowing them to focus more energy on the uniquely human aspects of teaching. Do you see AI as a potential collaborator for teachers, or does the fear of replacement feel more pressing? The global impact, a promise and a challenge. On a global scale, AI's potential is particularly powerful for underprivileged regions. Imagine a student in a remote village with few textbooks and no specialist teachers. An AI-powered tablet could deliver personalized lessons in math, science, and literature, effectively bringing a world-class education to their fingertips. This has the potential to bridge vast educational gaps, ensuring a child's future isn't limited by their zip code or their country's resources. AI can also dismantle language barriers in real time. Translation tools allow a student in Argentina to collaborate on a science project with a student in Vietnam, fostering global citizenship and cross-cultural understanding. Interestingly, these tools could also help preserve endangered languages by making them accessible for learning and digital use, giving them a new lease on life in the modern world. However, this bright future hinges on closing the digital divide. Many regions lack the basic infrastructure, reliable electricity, internet connectivity, and affordable devices needed to run any AI. Therefore, global initiatives are crucial. This could involve International partnerships to fund internet infrastructure. Developing low-cost, low-bandwidth AI tools that work on simple devices. Global training programs for teachers in using this technology effectively. What kind of initiative do you think would make the biggest difference? Government-led projects, private sector investment, or nonprofit drives? #, the transformational role of AI in classroom dynamics. Finally, inside the classroom itself, AI is shifting dynamics from passive reception to active, immersive experience. Traditional methods often rely on static lectures and textbooks. AI introduces dynamic environments that respond to the learner. Immersive learning with VR and AR *, imagine not just reading about the Roman Empire, but putting on a VR headset and standing in the Roman Forum, listening to the sounds of the market and seeing the architecture scale around you. Or using an AR app to project a 3D model of the human heart onto your desk, allowing you to explore its chambers. This firsthand, experiential learning is proven to be more engaging and memorable. Have you ever used such tools? How might they change your connection to a subject like history or biology? Facilitating global collaboration * AI-powered platforms can connect classrooms across the world. A student in Japan could work with a student in Brazil on a climate change project, using AI translation to communicate and share digital whiteboards to brainstorm. This prepares students for a globalized world, teaching teamwork and cultural empathy alongside academic content. In essence, AI is transforming the classroom from a place where information is delivered to an environment where experiences are lived and understanding is constructed through interaction, collaboration, and personalized exploration. The future classroom might be a blend of the physical and the digital, a place where technology deepens human learning and connection. Rather than replacing it, let's envision this exciting and collaborative future while keeping a grounded perspective on how to make it work for everyone. Imagine a student in Japan and a student in Brazil teamed up in a virtual classroom, working together to design a model for sustainable housing. They share ideas across continents, combining their local knowledge and perspectives. AI can facilitate this by matching students with complementary skills. Perhaps one excels at digital design while the other has a strength in environmental science, creating balanced and productive teams. These global collaborations do more than teach academic content. They prepare students for the 21st century by fostering cross-cultural communication, creative problem-solving on global issues, and the ability to work in digital teams. How do you think experiencing such a partnership in school could shape your worldview? Within the classroom itself, AI can act as a supportive observer. By analyzing patterns in participation, an AI system might notice that engagement drops during a particular lesson segment. It could then alert the teacher, who might decide to switch to a group activity or use a compelling video. This data-driven insight helps teachers refine their methods in real time, making lessons more responsive and effective. However, this must be done with care to avoid a sense of constant surveillance, focusing instead on supporting both teacher and student success. This leads us to the most important balance of all. While AI provides incredible tools and insights, the irreplaceable value of human interaction remains. A teacher's genuine excitement, a word of encouragement after a setback, or the lively debate that sparks in a classroom. These human moments inspire a love of learning that no algorithm can generate. The key is to leverage AI to handle tasks like data analysis and routine practice, thereby freeing up more time and space for human connection. The ideal classroom uses technology not as the star, but as the stage, setting, and lighting, so that the human drama of learning, mentoring, and growing can shine even brighter. AI and inclusive education, opening doors for every learner. Perhaps one of the most profound impacts of AI is its power to make education truly inclusive, removing barriers that have long hindered students. For students with disabilities, AI acts as a bridge. Asterisk speech-to-text and text-to-speech technologies allow a student who is deaf or hard of hearing to read a transcript of a lecture, and a student who is blind or has low vision to have any digital text read aloud instantly. Asterisk real-time AI captioning can provide accurate subtitles for video lessons, ensuring everyone can follow along. Have you considered how these tools, which might seem like simple conveniences to some, can be life-changing for others, offering independence and full participation in the classroom? AI also demolishes language barriers. A student new to a country, attending a school where the instruction is in an unfamiliar language, can use real-time translation tools for lectures, assignments, and even casual conversations with peers. This support can transform an overwhelming experience into one of belonging, dramatically boosting a student's confidence and ability to succeed academically. Furthermore, AI enables deeply customized learning for neurodiverse students. For a student with ADHD, an AI system could break lessons into shorter, interactive chunks with dynamic feedback to maintain engagement. For a student on the autism spectrum, it could provide a highly structured, predictable learning environment with clear routines. By adapting to individual neurological needs, AI can create a sense of safety and efficacy that unlocks potential. However, this promise of inclusivity faces a major hurdle: the challenge of access and equity. The very AI tools that can liberate one student are often out of reach for schools in underfunded areas. This creates a painful paradox. Technology meant to close gaps could instead widen them further, leaving the most vulnerable students without these transformative resources. Ensuring that AI serves as a tool for equity, not a new divider, is one of the greatest challenges we must collectively solve. It will require dedicated funding, policy, and a commitment to seeing inclusive technology not as a luxury, but as a fundamental right for every learner. Let's look honestly at the challenges and limitations that come with AI in the classroom. Acknowledging them isn't about being pessimistic. It's about being smart and building a future that works for everyone. #, the challenge of equity and access. We face a painful paradox. The very technology designed to make education more inclusive could end up widening the gap between privileged and underprivileged students. If only wealthy schools can afford advanced AI tutors, smart software, and immersive VR labs, students in underfunded or rural schools will be left even further behind. What can be done? Closing this divide requires committed, collective action. Governments must prioritize educational technology in public funding, ensuring it's part of basic infrastructure, like textbooks or internet access. Organizations and tech companies can create tiered pricing, donate software/licenses, and develop low-bandwidth AI tools that work on simpler devices. International bodies can fund large-scale initiatives to provide hardware, internet connectivity, and teacher training in developing regions. The goal must be to treat essential educational AI not as a luxury product, but as a public good. #, the risk of dependency. A major concern is that over-reliance on AI could weaken essential skills. If students use an AI to solve every math problem, they might not develop the critical thinking and perseverance needed to tackle unfamiliar challenges. Similarly, if teachers outsource all assessment to algorithms, they might lose their intuitive ability to understand a student's unique thought process. How do we mitigate this? The key is mindset and design. AI should be framed as a first responder or a practice tool, not the final authority. Learning must still include periods of unplugged problem-solving, debate, and creative projects where the journey is as important as the answer. The role of the teacher evolves to become a guide who helps students use AI wisely, not a manager replaced by it. #, the high cost and questions of accuracy. The financial barrier is real. AI systems are expensive to develop, buy, and maintain. Without intervention, this will create a two-tiered system. Furthermore, AI is not infallible. An essay grading algorithm might misunderstand creative writing or cultural context. A translation tool might make subtle errors. Students and teachers must cultivate a healthy skepticism, using AI as a source of input, not an absolute source of truth. This teaches vital digital literacy, the skill to question, verify, and think critically about information from any source, machine or human. #, the critical question of accountability. When something goes wrong, an AI unfairly flags a student for cheating, gives consistently poor advice, or makes a biased decision. Who is responsible? Is it the developer who created the algorithm, the school that adopted it, or the teacher who used it? Clear guidelines and accountability frameworks are urgently needed. Current regulations are often lagging behind the technology. We need policies that ensure there is always a human in the loop to review important decisions, and that companies are transparent about their tools' limitations. #, ethical considerations and data privacy. Protecting the digital student. As AI becomes more embedded in learning, ethical considerations and data privacy move to the center of the conversation. AI systems work by collecting and analyzing a vast amount of data on each student. This goes beyond grades. It can include how long you hesitate on a question, what time of day you learn best, your patterns of mistakes, and even indicators of your engagement or frustration. This data creates a detailed digital fingerprint of a young learner's mind. This raises serious questions. Security. Where is this incredibly sensitive data stored? Who can access it? A data breach could expose personal learning struggles and profiles, with consequences that could follow a student for years. Misuse. Could this data be sold to third parties for advertising, or used later to make unfair judgments about a student's potential? Consent. Often, students and families click agree to long, complex terms of service without truly understanding what data is being collected and how it will be used. True informed consent is often missing. How do we protect students? 1. Strong regulations. Governments need to enact and enforce strict student data privacy laws, stronger than many that exist today, that treat educational data as a protected class of information. 2. Transparency from companies. Schools should only use tools from developers who are crystal clear about what data they collect, how it is used, and how it is protected. There should be a simple, plain language explanation available to every parent and student. 3. Empowerment for families. Parents and students should have the right to access, review, and even delete their educational data. They should be true partners in this process. In the end, navigating these challenges is about intentionality. It's about choosing to develop and use AI with a primary focus on human flourishing, protecting privacy, ensuring equity, preventing dependency, and always keeping the irreplaceable human teacher at the heart of the learning journey. The goal is a future where AI doesn't dictate education, but thoughtfully supports it, making it more personal, more accessible, and more empowering for every single learner. Now, let's focus on the crucial ethical foundation that must underpin all of this technology. Without it, the risks could outweigh the rewards. The imperative of transparency and informed consent. The issue of how data is used is paramount. Too often, terms of service are long, complex documents that few read. Students and families might click "I agree" without truly understanding they are consenting to have a detailed profile of their learning habits collected and analyzed. This is not true informed consent. Preparing for an AI-driven future, skills for a new world. To thrive in this changing landscape, we need to prepare differently. This preparation is about mindset and skills, not just software. For students, cultivating digital literacy and ethical awareness. Critical digital literacy. Students must learn to use AI as a tool, not an oracle. This means being taught to question AI recommendations, cross-check information with other sources, and understand the tool's limitations. Educators can design assignments where students use an AI for a first draft or research help, but must then analyze, critique, and improve upon its output. Ethical awareness. Classroom discussions should tackle real questions. What does biased data look like? How is my privacy protected? Who is responsible if an AI makes a mistake? These discussions prepare students to be conscientious citizens and professionals in a world shaped by AI. For teachers, essential professional development. Teachers cannot be expected to navigate this alone. They need robust professional development that goes beyond technical training. Clear communication is non-negotiable. Schools and developers must explain AI systems in simple, accessible language. This tool will track which math problems you find difficult to help create your practice exercises. This data is stored securely and will not be shared or sold. Have you ever used an app without reading the fine print? That common experience highlights why we need a new, more ethical standard for educational tools, where transparency is built in, not buried. Confronting algorithmic bias. Bias in AI algorithms is a reflection of our own world. If an AI is trained on historical data showing that students from certain affluent schools score higher on tests, it might unfairly favor applicants from those backgrounds, mistaking privilege for potential. This would perpetuate inequality under a guise of digital objectivity. To minimize bias, developers must 1. Use diverse, representative datasets for training. 2. Employ diverse teams of engineers and ethicists to build and test the systems. 3. Conduct continuous audits to check for unfair outcomes. It's an ongoing process of vigilance and correction, not a one-time fix. The risk of stigmatization and protecting student dignity. There's a subtle but serious risk that AI could unintentionally stigmatize students. If a system flags a student as needing intervention or at risk, that label, even if well-intentioned, can affect how teachers and peers perceive them, potentially harming confidence. Teachers are the essential buffer here. They must use AI insights discreetly and supportively. The data should be a private conversation starter for offering help, not a public label. The teacher's role becomes to interpret the data with wisdom and compassion, using it to empower, never to limit, a student's sense of what they can achieve. The irreplaceable human teacher. This leads to the most fundamental question. Could AI ever fully replicate a teacher? The answer lies in the essence of education itself. While AI can deliver information and grade tests, education is about more than knowledge transfer. It is about mentorship, emotional support, and relationship building. A teacher sees the spark in a student's eye, offers encouragement after a failure, navigates complex classroom dynamics, and inspires a love of learning. These actions are fueled by empathy, intuition, and shared humanity, qualities no algorithm possesses. AI should be viewed as the ultimate teaching aid, handling administrative burdens to give teachers more time for these irreplaceable human interactions. This includes integration skills, how to weave AI tools meaningfully into lesson plans. Data interpretation, how to read AI-generated insights without over-relying on them. Ethical guardrails, how to protect student privacy and well-being while using these systems. In essence, preparing for an AI-driven future means strengthening our core human abilities, our critical thinking, our ethical judgment, and our capacity for connection, while mastering new tools. The goal is a generation that doesn't just use AI, but shapes it with wisdom, ensuring it remains a servant to human potential, not a replacement for the human heart of learning. Let's bring this important conversation to a close by focusing on the practical steps we can take today and the hopeful future we might build for tomorrow. #, preparing every stakeholder, teachers, policymakers, and learners. For this shift to be successful, everyone has a role to play.
1.
Empowering teachers with the right training ***. Teachers are on the front lines. They need professional development that goes beyond a simple software tutorial. The most valuable training would focus on interpreting AI data *, how to read a dashboard that shows student progress without reducing a learner to just numbers. Ethical integration *, how to use adaptive platforms while safeguarding student privacy and well-being. Addressing student concerns *, how to have open conversations with students about how AI works, its limits, and their own digital footprints. This training should position the teacher as the empowered human in command, using AI as a powerful instrument in their teaching toolkit.
2.
The crucial role of policymakers ***. Governments and educational authorities must create the guardrails that ensure AI is used for the public good. This involves setting strong standards enforcing strict data privacy laws specifically for educational settings. Demanding transparency requiring companies to clearly explain how their algorithms work in understandable terms. Ensuring equity directing funding and resources to make sure all schools, not just the wealthy ones, can benefit. We must ask, are our current leaders doing enough to set these vital rules? Often, technology outpaces regulation, so proactive policy is urgently needed. 3. Cultivating a new mindset in all of us ***. Ultimately, preparing for this future isn't just about mastering a new tool, it's about adopting a new mindset of lifelong learning and adaptability. For students and educators alike, it means staying curious, being willing to learn alongside technology, and continuously reimagining what's possible. This is perhaps the greatest opportunity AI presents, a chance to rethink and revitalize the very experience of learning itself. How could you or your community contribute to this positive reimagining? #, the long-term impact, a vision for the future. Looking ahead, the long-term impact of AI on education could be profoundly positive if guided wisely. Conclusion: striking the essential balance. In conclusion, the impact of AI on education is deep and double-sided, filled with both immense promise and significant questions. On one hand, AI promises to revolutionize learning. It can offer a truly personalized education, adapt to each student's pace, and make learning accessible in new ways for people with disabilities or those in remote areas. It supports not just school learning, but lifelong education, helping people of all ages grow and adapt. Closing the opportunity gap ***, one of the most hopeful prospects is AI's power to act as a great equalizer. A student in an underfunded school could, via an AI tutor, access the same quality of personalized instruction as a student in an elite private academy. This could level the playing field in an unprecedented way, making a child's potential, not their zip code, the primary determinant of their education. Making learning a lifelong journey *AI shatters the idea that education ends at graduation. For a professional needing to reskill or a retiree exploring a new passion, AI-powered platforms can offer tailored, patient guidance at any age. This transforms education from a finite phase of life into a continuous, supportive companion throughout our personal and professional journeys. Improving outcomes through foresight AI can help us move from reactive to proactive support. By analyzing patterns, it can alert educators that a student might be at risk of falling behind long before a failing grade appears, allowing for early, effective intervention. This could significantly improve graduation rates and student well-being. Furthermore, as a career guide, AI can help students see pathways that align their unique strengths with future opportunities, helping them navigate their future with more confidence. However, a crucial reminder: this positive future is not guaranteed. The widespread use of AI comes with significant risks, from entrenched biases to the devaluation of human connection that we have already discussed. The long-term outcome depends entirely on the choices we make today, to prioritize equity, to champion transparency, and to always place human wisdom and empathy at the center of the learning process. In the end, the story of AI in education is still being written. It can be a story of greater access, personalization, and empowerment. But ensuring that story has a happy ending requires all of us, students, teachers, parents, developers, and policymakers, to be thoughtful authors committed to writing a narrative where technology amplifies our humanity rather than replaces it. What part of this future are you most curious or concerned about? The conversation about how we shape it together is just beginning. As we look to the future, it's clear that the widespread use of AI in education doesn't come without real and persistent challenges. One of the biggest is the danger that AI could make existing inequalities worse rather than better. This is the problem of the digital divide. AI's amazing benefits depend on things like reliable internet, modern devices, and technical support, resources that many rural and underserved communities simply don't have. If we don't act, we risk creating a world where only some students get a smart, personalized education, while others are left with outdated tools. So, how do we bridge this divide? It will require a major, coordinated effort. Governments investing in infrastructure, companies creating affordable solutions, and communities advocating for technology to be treated as a basic educational resource, like textbooks or electricity. Another profound concern is the potential loss of human connection. While AI can deliver instant feedback and tailor lessons, it cannot be a mentor, a counselor, or a source of genuine inspiration. A teacher does more than convey information. They see a student's frustration, share in their joy of discovery, and build a community of learners. As AI plays a bigger role, we must be intentional about keeping human teachers at the very heart of the learning process. The question is, how can we integrate more technology while fiercely protecting this human element? The answer lies in design and intention, using AI to handle repetitive tasks so teachers have more time and energy for the moments of connection, guidance, and encouragement that only they can provide. On the other hand, we must move forward thoughtfully. Ethical concerns, data privacy, and algorithmic bias are not minor issues. They are central to building a system that is fair and trustworthy. We have to address these head-on, with strong safeguards and transparent policies. The most important principle to remember is this: technology should never replace the human touch that is vital to teaching and learning. AI should be seen as a powerful tool, one that empowers educators to do their jobs more effectively, freeing them from administrative burdens so they can focus on what they do best: inspiring, mentoring, and building the social and emotional skills of their students. The future of AI in education isn't predetermined. It depends on the choices we make today. By carefully navigating these challenges, prioritizing equity, protecting privacy, ensuring transparency, and valuing human connection, we can guide AI toward creating positive, lasting change that benefits every learner. Ultimately, technology is only as good as the wisdom with which we use it. It's up to all of us, students, teachers, parents, developers, and policymakers to shape the role AI will play in the classrooms of tomorrow. Let's move forward with curiosity, adaptability, and a shared commitment to using this powerful tool to create a more inclusive, personalized, and human-centered future for education. Thank you for exploring this important topic. We hope this discussion has given you new ideas and insights. Remember, the conversation about our future is ongoing, and your perspective is a vital part of it.